How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now, on today's show, we're going to be talking about Everton because it's another signing, and it's Abdoulaye Doucouré from Watford. We're also going to be talking about Liverpool because Ryan Brewster could be out of the club on a permanent basis. And the last piece of news involves Arsenal and Hector Bellerin because he's become a shareholder at League Two side Forest Green Rovers.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So the first place we're going to start is the news that broke yesterday that Everton have completed the signing of Abdoulaye Doucouré from Watford for around about £20 million. Very, very good player. And I'll tell you something, Everton are making a few signings and they're starting to, spend some money. And we already know that the guy that's in charge of Everton was once alongside Usmanov at Arsenal, so he's got money. And with the new management team that's in there and everything else, they're going to want to spend and they're going to want to challenge. And when you're looking at those signings, Everton could well be one of those sides that try to break that top six at least. But they will want to ultimately try and break the top four and get Champions League football. And when you think that they've just signed the likes of Rodriguez, that's a big signing, and I was speaking about that one on yesterday's show. They've also brought in the Brazilian midfielder Alan, and that's another good signing as well. So you're looking at it and you're thinking, yeah, that's actually not too bad when you think of what they've got. But at the same time, Everton do have a lot of players there that I think they're going to have to get rid of. And there's players there that are just not good enough. There's some ex-Arsenal players there. What are they going to do with the likes of Alex Iwobi? Because he had an absolutely horrendous time last season. And the fact that Arsenal got nearly £40 million for him, that was money wasted by Everton. There's Theo Walcott that's still on the books at Everton. So what are they going to do with him? But this one, Doucouré, defensive midfielder, absolute powerhouse in the middle. Not his fault that Watford were relegated. He's one of the standout players. But I'm looking at that and I'm thinking to myself, a £20 million deal. That's actually a good price, to be fair. 27 years old. He signed a 3-year deal. And I don't think that's bad in today's market, to be quite honest with you. I don't actually know how long he had left on his contract at Watford. And I suppose this is what happens with Watford getting relegated. There's going to be a lot of interest in a lot of their players. I've had people asking about Troy Deeney, what he plans to do. Troy's his own person. When I speak to Troy, I don't speak to him about transfers and where he could possibly be ending up or anything like that. That's his business. Would he leave Watford? I don't honestly know. He's the captain of Watford. He's been there for over 10 years. So I suppose, from my own point of view, maybe he's got a sense of loyalty to them and he wants to try and repay a bit of a favour to them for all the loyalty that they've showed him, during his career and everything else. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. He could definitely still play in the Premier League. Trust me on that. Troy played on one leg for pretty much the majority of last season and he still got double figures. Trust me. The one thing I do know is how much he had to play on an injury last season. And believe me, he tried everything he could. But I don't know, man. We'll wait and see. But for this one, Everton have got their man. Doucouré is now an Everton player. And that doesn't seem a bad price. It really don't. £20 million. Staying on Merseyside, Liverpool. And they are considering allowing Ryan Brewster to leave on a permanent deal in the current transfer window. But they are looking to protect that transfer by inserting a buyback clause. Now, Newcastle are a side that have been making inquiries. But Liverpool have actually put a block against that potential transfer because they don't feel that he will actually play enough football at Newcastle because, of course, they brought in the likes of Callum Wilson and whatnot. So would he get a lot of game time? He finished off the last end of the season on loan at Swansea and he's done really well there. He's definitely highly thought of at Liverpool, but he's at that age now where he needs to get out there and start playing some football. And they can't really keep throwing him out on loan. So the option is to send him somewhere, in terms of a full transfer. But they insert that buyback clause. And it means that they get first refusal. If he goes somewhere and he tears it up, then Liverpool can go, yeah, you know what, we'll take him back now. We're ready to implement him into the side. You don't know what's happened with Mane or Salah or Firmino, etc. In 2, 3, 4 years time. So I can see what they're doing. They're trying to protect what they have, but at the same time not stand in his way from first team football. So in terms of selling him, it's not about the money. It's not about just getting rid of him and getting a bit of cash. It's about sending him somewhere that they know he will play first team football. And then in a couple of years' time, they can look at him and say, yeah, you know what? Okay, cool. We can buy him back because he's ready. And I suppose you look at Manchester United, they had a 2-year loan with Henderson in goal. Had a brilliant season in the Championship, got up to the Premier League, had a brilliant season in the Premier League. Now he's just signed a massive contract at Manchester United and he's fighting David De Gea for the number 1 spot. So I know it was a loan and not an actual transfer, but similar kind of thing where they go off, cut their teeth somewhere else, learn their trade, get first team football, and then see if they're ready to step back into the big time. So interesting. And it's also going to be interesting to see whether they would actually, get him out to another Premier League team. I think a Premier League team would benefit him. But it's what Premier League team out there going to sign him and he plays regular first team football. Suppose you could look at some of the clubs that would be fighting towards the bottom. I don't know whether a West Ham maybe. I don't know what Fulham's situation is. West Brom. Those are the kind of clubs that you look at and think, yeah, would he get in there? Could he offer something? I think so. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens in due course. Now, next piece of news involves Hector Bellerin. And initially when I saw the breaking news and Hector signs for, I was thinking, he's left for PSG. And then I see Forest Green Rovers from League 2. I thought, what? What's happening here? But no. He's become the second largest shareholder at the League 2 side, Forest Green Rovers. Now, for anybody that doesn't know about Forest Green Rovers, especially anybody outside of the UK that may not know about Forest Green Rovers, it's very evident as to why Hector has got involved. Now, we all know about Hector and his, way of living with his diet. He's a vegan. And also what he did before last season finished with the planting of trees to help save the rainforests and all other kind of stuff. He's very, very environmental friendly. And Forest Green Rovers have actually been recognised by FIFA and the United Nations as the world's greenest football club. They have a vegan menu for fans, which has not gone down too well with some people because football, beer, burgers and all that kind of stuff. And you can have a burger. It's going to be vegan. It's, even their pitch has been treated, eco-treated. Their kits are eco kits. Everything about Forest Green Rovers is about the environment. I think it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a vegan myself. I love my steak and that too much and whatever. And that's my preference. But if you want to be a vegan and you believe in that kind of stuff, fair play. Go for it. Do what you want to do. But at the same time as well, I look and I go, what will Hector do moving forward? I think this is something that he's obviously very passionate about and he can obviously help Forest Green Rovers. It would be massive for them in terms of their profile and raising their status as a club to have the likes of Hector Bellerin involved and being the second largest shareholder means that he's obviously pumping some money into the club. I don't actually know whether that's a conflict of interest somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just throwing this one out there. I don't presume there is, because he's got involved and he's actively said. I don't know what would happen if Forest Green Rovers drew Arsenal in a cup game. Would there be a conflict of interest? I don't know. I'm just genuinely asking a question. But yeah, listen, fair play to him. He's got so many ventures outside of football, fashion, and obviously now he's a shareholder at a football club. And yeah, I suppose, you know, this doesn't stop him from moving away. He can still be a shareholder if he was in another country. But at the same time, you've got to look and say as well, you know, would he be getting so heavily involved and, you know, announcing this right now if he was preparing to leave the country? I'm not so sure. Or maybe if there was a conflict of interest, the reason why he's doing it is because he is leaving the country and then there wouldn't be a conflict. Do you get what I mean? I don't know. But fair play to Hector Bellerin and Forest Green Rovers. I'll have to keep an eye on them a little bit more and see what happens in due course and, you know, the influence of Hector. Very interesting. So there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. Let me know what you think about Ryan Brewster. Also, Decore going to Everton and Hector Bellerin and what he's doing at Forest Green Rovers. Let me know in the comment section. So if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.